Hello, welcome back. I'm glad you could still join me. So today, I wanted to try something or do something a little different. As you may or may not have noticed, since I've been doing these videos, I am in a wheelchair, and my hands are all kind of discombobulated. So today, I wanted to do a video of why that is, just to give more of an explanation about me. I know we're a few videos in, but that's okay. So, what I've got while I'm in the chair is what I have is called spina bifida. And what that is I was born with a hole in my lower back where the nerves that connect my lower body were not connected. They were just sticking out. There was a hole, and the nerves and other things were just sticking out over the edge like a I kind of like to think about it as a bowl of spaghetti with some of the pieces of spaghetti kind of dangling over the bowl. I know that kind of sounds weird, but that's how I like to think about it. And so there are two types of spina bifida. One is called um, spina bifida occulta, which is where I do not have that one, so we're going to kind of skip over that one and talk more about this one. It's called, get ready, it's a long word. Okay, it's called myelomeningocele. Yeah, it's a long one. What that is, well, like I was saying, the lower half of my body, the nerves and things weren't connected with my lower body. So both my inside and my outside don't work from that part down. But that's just fine. I've been living with that for my whole life, and I'm just fine. But I'm sorry, I've got notes because it's a bit hard to remember all these things. Even though I've been dealing with it, I don't know much about it. Well, I thought I did, but my research proved me wrong. So, some complications with that, like I have been saying, was my internal plumbing isn't quite right. And going along with that, in my head, there is an accumulation of fluid. Because your brain sits in water, right? Inside the skull. Right. So I have a buildup of that. And every so often, it would keep building and building and building. So what they did is, what I had done is, I had a tube put in my head to drain the liquid, and that's called what is called a shunt. And when that malfunctions, things don't go well at all. Think of it this way. Picture a water balloon next or connected to a water faucet, and the water just keeps building up and building up and building up in that balloon. Eventually, bad things are going to happen to that balloon. So, I'd like to think of what that shunt is you put a straw, you poke a hole in the balloon, you put the straw in there to tape it down, tape it a lot, and fill the water balloon back up, but the straw drains excess out so it doesn't pop. It just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. And that's how it's supposed to be. However, some things go wrong with that straw, that tube, that shunt. And I have to go and get it removed and replaced. Like if a piece of dirt gets stuck in that straw, the balloon builds up and builds up and builds up again. I kind of like to give that analogy to people that ask me certain questions. It's easy enough to remember and easy enough to explain. Some more things are skin issues because I'm sitting down a lot. I would get sores every once in a while, either on the bottom of my legs, my feet, or my dairy area, my behind. And when that happens, it takes a long time to heal back up. So you have to watch for that too, because again, I can't feel down there, so I don't know. This one I didn't realize was connected. I am allergic to latex, balloons, gloves, rubber bands, things like that. I hadn't realized that that actually is one of the complications from what I have. Kind of found that a little interesting. Next is with my internal plumbing not entirely right. I would get infections all the time. Over and over and over and over again. Don't worry, they're not lethal. I haven't died yet. Well, I've come close. But no, I haven't died yet. The other thing is, the other issue, I should say, is because my hands are all like this. That is what's called chiari malformation. Not entirely a big word, but one that people may not understand. It's called chiari because of the doctor that discovered it. So the malformation was named after him. And so what that is a condition in which the brainstem herniates down into the upper spinal canal, the neck. So, some of those symptoms of that is, like I was showing you, poor hand coordination. I can't turn my hands over. I can barely open them all the way. My fingers don't entirely go all the way. I can't throw really well. I can't catch really well. I can't write really well. I can write, yes, but not really well. And that could, a lot of you might say, well, neither can I, and I'm just fine. Okay. I'm just saying, I can't because of this. A few of the other symptoms, which I have gotten over throughout the years, so it doesn't bother me anymore. But some of the other symptoms are difficulty swallowing. Sometimes, and this is going to get a bit weird too, sometimes gagging and throwing up. Sometimes choking before that. But like I say, I'm over that now. I'm past that, we're fine. Again, arm and hand weakness. Like people with spina bifida, usually their upper arms are, well, their arms, not their upper body, I should say, is filled with muscle because they need to compensate. They don't have their legs to work, so they have to use their upper body and build that up to move around. Because of this chiari, I cannot. But again, I'm just fine with that. I just do things a little differently. I compensate. I do this instead of this. But it achieves the same outcome. So there's that. I didn't know this one either. It causes scoliosis, which was kind of interesting because I did have that one too. Oh, let me back up. I'm sorry. To treat the chiari, and what it is like I was saying, the brainstem herniates down into the spinal column. It pinches off nerves and things and muscles. So yeah, that's why my entire body really is, I like to use the word discombobulated. It's a fun word. The only treatment that anyway they found to help me was the doctors went in when I was really, really young, and they literally cut 2 of my neck bones in half. So think of it this way. You take 2 donuts, stack them on top of each other like this, and then cut them in half. And that's what they did. And I'm just fine. I heard once before that individuals with my condition, either one, would not live that long. But they never really could determine, I should say, how long one would live. I heard one time that the oldest that that had to deal with what I've got was like 30. I'm past that. And I'm still going. And it is good because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do my cosplay. I wouldn't be able to have as much fun as I'm having. I wouldn't be able to help you with these videos. Really about it. So, if you have any questions on that, any questions at all, it doesn't matter how awkward or, I don't know, eerie, gross maybe, you can let me know. I will, again, do my best to answer your questions. And I guess with that, I'm Corey. This has been Will's Warrior Cosplay, and thank you for watching.